to him. I'm going to ask him, let's see what's going on. Because I went and talked to him when I got back because I wanted to kind of explain, here's what's going on. So I go and see him. He goes, Akhil, wow, look at you. You know, you're so much better than when you were before. I'm like, yeah, just chill, woo. You know, I'm like, great. He goes, okay, you know, let's take another MRI. Let's find out what's going on in your brain and your spine. Okay, so I get another MRI. So I've got a pre-India MRI, I got a post-India MRI. And I come back in a couple of weeks later, and he shows both of these to me together, right next to each other, right? He says, I don't know how to explain this to you, but something interesting has happened. A couple of your lesions have actually disappeared. A couple more have actually reduced in size. It doesn't happen. MRIs don't change, by the way. Just want to let you know that. This is very unusual that this is happening. So I get all excited. And I tell him everything that happened to me in India. Now you have to understand, I walked through a waiting room with people with MS at various stages. There were some in wheelchairs, there were some with walkers, there were some just normal but still had MS. And I walked through that lobby and come to the doctor. He shows me this amazing thing about the MRIs. I tell him about all the stuff about India, and he's like, yeah, wow. I said, great, now you can go tell those people that, right? And he's like, no, I really can't. I'm like, what? And he gave me some reasons, and I don't want to make him seem like a bad guy, because I still like him, I still see him, he's still a good doctor. And he said three things which are really important. Number one, he said that I can't tell them because you are just a sample of one. I can't use you as a case study for all of this stuff. Now, number two, I've never been trained on the Eastern medicine practices. And number three, I don't necessarily believe it. I don't necessarily believe it that this is really happening. Even though he's seeing pictures in front of me, he goes, yeah, you know, stuff happens all the time. But stuff is not equivalent to me telling these people that, because if I tell them that and they don't experience the same things that you experience, they're going to come back and sue me. And you know, there's times in the world when you will say things that define who you're going to be from that point forward. Those words came out of my mouth at that time. You know what those words were? I told my doctor, I said, you know what? Don't tell anybody. From this point forward, I'm going to tell everybody. And that's why I'm telling you. I'm telling you because there's hope out there. It's not desperate. I can do this. I can move around again. Okay, am I a miracle? I'm not. That's the point. I'm not one of those guys who go, oh, miracles, you know, hey. Yes, I think there's some amazing things that happen. I'm not one of those things. There's some very logical things that I went through in India that taught me about my body. If you'd like to learn more about that stuff, I'll be happy to explain that to you. I just want to tell you my story. That's the point of this speech, is just kind of tell you a little bit about my story. Here's what I went through. Here's the depression I went through. Here's the disbelief I had. And here's the results I've gotten. Even though I was in disbelief, even though I was depressed, they have some good things going on. There's some logical practices in general that'll help you. Even if you don't have a chronic disease, by the way. The things I learned over there about the body, it's helpful. To kind of wrap it up in a shell here, January 2009, I've not ridden a bike pretty much ever. I mean, I've got one. It's one of these old bicycles. But something flicked in my head, and I'm going to continue to inspire people. And the way I'm going to do that is, with my age, I still have MS. I'm not stopped saying that I have MS. I decided to get on the MS 150 bike ride. Now, the MS 150 bike ride is not 150 miles, even though that's what I thought. It's actually 162 miles. The first day, it's almost 90 miles. The second day is about 70 miles. It's a lot of riding. I get tired driving that far, let alone riding on a bicycle. But I'll be doing that in 2 weeks. I'll be going on the MS 150 ride. So, a person my age with MS that has no cycling experience can go do this. It should inspire you. All you have to do is kind of take control. Take control. Take control of your life. And in subsequent speeches that I'm going to have with your team, I'm going to talk about stress reduction strategies, diet, lifestyle, how to deal with exercise. What are you going to do with depression? These are all things that I learned when I was in India. So now it's been 2 years, I've been symptom-free. Amazing to me. Not to my doctors in India, by the way. I write to them, I talk to them, and they're like, yeah, keep going. They kind of give me a tune-up. Once in a while, they kind of give me some information that I should be following. I'll be happy to share all that with you. Because really, at the end of the day, remember those words that came out of my mouth? I'm here to help you now. That's my job. I got a second life. The question that everybody should be asking themselves, what are you going to do with your second life? I ask myself that question. I got a simple answer. My second life is to help you. How can I help you? How can I help you understand that this whole sense of despair can lead to hope? And that hope is not just for you. That hope is for you to help somebody else. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out. And I really want to spend some time talking to each one of you individually. If you got any questions, come talk to me.